please join me. Take a deep breath and let go of all that technological weirdness and whatever else might have been in the mix, because this is a beautiful spring morning and we're here together to practice beautiful yoga. And I wanted to ask you to bring your intentions for the spring. And I thought it would be a sweet way to begin this practice, this March day, this first day of the week and the first day of March. Just with an awareness to what you would like to manifest in the spring. So we can sit together and spend a few minutes with our breath, coming to a nice slow flow of breath in and breath out. Seated in this nice position where we lengthen the spine and root into the sits bones. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaws. Relax your face and even close your eyes or lower your eyelids. Snug your belly in just a bit to support your lower spine. Lift your heart. Feel your shoulder blades glide down toward your hips, away from your ears. Let your breath be natural, feeling the inhalation and the exhalation. Slow it down. Deep breaths in and long breaths out. And as you sit, find your intention. And with each breath in, you can say something like, I am abundant, or I am peaceful, or I am joyful. Find one word to assimilate all that you wish to see come forth in the spring, something simple and easeful, whatever that might be. And breathe in, I am, whatever it is. And as you exhale, let the exhalation radiate that intention out. And just, we'll do this for, 2 minutes. Just a couple more breaths. And then please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. And let's chant one Om to begin our practice. The first Om of the week and of March for our Golden Age community. Take a couple of cleansing breaths first, please. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And another one like that. And let it go. And then inhale and let's begin. Om. And now please release your hands. Let them rest at your lap or your legs. Notice your spine once again. Draw your belly in. Sit up tall. And take your arms out to either side. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another. Let's take a side bend. We'll take a breath in to lift the right arm up to the sky. Reach long through the fingertips. As you exhale, draw the shoulder blade down towards your hips. Take another breath in, lengthen, and as you exhale, come over into your side bend. Reach out through those fingertips. Draw the shoulder blade onto the back. Good. Breathe and lengthen through the side body. Inhale into your right armpit. Send the breath all the way down and out the hip. Next breath in, press into the sits bones and lengthen, come back up. Good. Taking it to the other side, reach out through both fingertips. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other on the back body. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Reach long through the fingertips, and as you exhale, draw the shoulder blade down towards the hip. Next breath in, lengthen again. And exhale, come over to the right. Press into your left sits bone, especially as you breathe here. And invite the breath into the left armpit. And send that breath all the way down, out the hip. Take another breath into the same armpit. See how it feels to exhale the breath into the other hip. On your next inhalation, ground into the sits bones. Inhale, come back up. Good. Let's come to child's pose, please. We'll take the knees just a little bit wider than the hips. Bring your big toes together so the knees are just a little bit wider, and then sit your hips, your sits bones towards your heels. And if you haven't already brought your blocks to the front of the mat, let's do that. Let's do that now. Thank you. And then sitting up tall, draw your belly in, and we'll hinge at the hips to come forward, bringing the hands to the mat. Keep your spine long. Walk your fingertips out overhead and take your time as you lower down. Breathing into the back body, walking those fingertips up overhead. And lowering the forehead towards the mat or a blanket or a block. Breathe into the back body all around the sacrum. Take a breath into the mid-back, right around the kidneys. Keep your arm bones elevated up off the mat, pressing into the fingertips and the palms of your hands. Breathe into the upper back. Feel all those fibers along the back body as they warm and lengthen, creating more space. Draw your belly in, draw the inner groins in and back. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears and towards the hips. Couple breaths here more. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide and press up. Keep your spine long as you come into table pose. Turn your toes under. And I'm going to move my hands a little further forward, and I might do things a little more irregularly because of my wrist. So line yourself up appropriately for your body. It's best to have the wrists right under the shoulders. I'm not the greatest example right now. I'm going to turn my hands out to take the pressure out of my thumb wrist area. So we're going to take some cat-cows here. Take a breath in and lift the tailbone towards the sky as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Toes turned under, good. Exhaling, press the earth away, turn the tops of your feet onto the mat, draw your belly in and back. On an inhalation, come back into cat, upward cat. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Let the heart sink down towards the mat as the tailbone draws up, toes turned under, and then exhale, press away. Arch up, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhaling, articulate the spine so that the tailbone tilts up, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhaling, come into upward cat. And 2 more cycles. Expand those ribs and expand through the collarbones as you come up and breathe in. Exhaling, press the earth away, draw the belly in, look towards your navel. 1 more, inhale, lengthen and come up, upward cat. Exhaling, press it away, draw the belly in. And then come back to table pose. Turn your toes under. Take a breath in and stretch your right foot back behind you. Let the toes come to the mat and just simply press out through your heel. Lengthen those fibers along the calf and the hamstrings. And then take your foot to the other side of your mat, like all the way over, off the mat to the floor. Turn to look at the heel. Breathe into that side stretch. Enjoy the stretch. Couple more breaths here. And then bring your foot back to your mat and back into table pose. We'll take it to the other side. Nice deep breath in. Send your left leg back behind you. Press out through the fibers of your heel, lengthening and stretching. And then take your foot all the way over and look towards your heel. Stretch and release. And then please bring your leg back to the mat, your foot back to the mat, and back to table pose. And we'll take a nice wide child's pose. Lift your knees off to the sides of your mat. Lengthen your spine and lower your torso towards the mat, keeping your fingertips, your arms active overhead. If it feels good in your body, tent your hands, lifting your palms up off the mat, fingertips pressing in, shoulder blades drawing down. Breathe into the groins, into the adductors along the inner thighs. Hug the muscles to the bones in your arms. And a couple more breaths here. Then lower your hands and bring them under your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, press up. Come back to table pose. And then we'll press up into downward facing dog. Turn your toes under and press up. Lengthen through the legs. You can pedal out your legs. Lift your hips high. Press them back towards the wall behind you as you lengthen through the backs of the legs. Outer rotating through the arm bones. Inner rotation at the head of the thigh bones. Draw the belly in. And then with a breath in, bend your knees, look to the front of your mat, and step up. Uttanasana, find your blocks. If you're using blocks, otherwise bring your hands to your mat or your legs. Take a breath in and lengthen, draw the belly in. Shoulder blades down towards your hips. And as you exhale, fold. Bring your fingertips wherever they feel best. And then bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath in and with the strength of your legs, rise up. Tadasana. Let's start with half Surya Namaskar. But first, please firm into your feet. It's good to feel your feet. Get connected through the soles of your feet, your foundation. You can lift your toes, spread them wide. Feel all four corners of your feet, the big toe pad, the outer heel, the baby toe pad, the inner heel. And draw up on your arches. Keep all that energy in your feet as you lower your toes. And then please take a breath in, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And release the breath. On your next inhalation, press hands, shoulder blades hugging in. Exhale, lower the hands, draw the belly in, lift the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, fingertips touch. Exhale, hinge and float down. Bring your hands to your blocks or the mat or your legs. Inhale, head lift, long spine. Good. Exhale, bow to your legs. Inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. Draw the belly in, open through the heart. Exhale, hinge and bow in. Inhale, lengthen. This time bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, bow, and this time press your hands into your calves. Inner rotate at the head of the thigh bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow, same thing. Press the hands in. One more time. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, bow. Now, adding on, inhale and bend your knees. Place your blocks alongside your feet. Exhale, right leg back, and lower the knee to the mat. Make sure that your knee is just over your ankle, foot, and then bring your hand to your knee. Press the top of your back foot into the mat. Lift your heart, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and press into all four corners of your front foot. Draw the legs towards one another isometrically and feel your core ignite. Stay here or take your arms out to the side and option to inhale and lift the arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana, lift the heart, lengthen through the front body. Breathe. Draw the shoulder blades down towards the hips. Feel your front body open. Think of your intention for spring. Inhale. Exhale, float your arms back down, find your blocks. Turn your back toes under, press up, lunge pose. Bring your fingertips to the mat, and we'll step back, plank pose. Again, I'm turning my hands out, only because you know why. Keep your tailbone drawing down towards your heels. Widen through your collarbones and your upper back. Draw your belly in. And then we're going to press back into downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Lift the hips high to the sky. Take another breath or two. And on your next breath in, bend your knees, look to the front of the mat, and step up. Find your blocks. Take a breath here in Uttanasana. Make sure your second toe is facing forward and your ankles are right under your sits bones. Bring your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine. Take a breath in and root through your feet. Rise up, come back to Tadasana. 2 breath cycles here. And then please take a breath in, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, and release your breath. Next breath in, press hands. Exhale, release. Lift the heart as you inhale and sweep the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hinge and float forward. Uttanasana. Your choice where you place your hands. Inhale, lengthen, and come halfway up. Exhale, bow to the legs. You can take your hands alongside your calves. Inner rotate at the head of the thigh bones. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, bow and press in. Inhale, lengthen and lift, halfway up. Inhale, bow. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, come halfway up. Last time. Exhale, bow. Inhale and bend your knees, place your blocks, and extend your left leg back, lower the knee to the mat. Extend the toes behind your knee along the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your knee and press and lengthen through the upper body. Lengthen the spine, lift the heart. Press into the back foot and draw both legs towards one another isometrically. Draw your belly in. Make sure your knee is just above the ankle foot. Option to take the arms out to the sky. Out to the sides, and option to lift and lift them up to the sky. It's nice when the mouth works with the brain. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen through the fingertips. Draw the hips towards the earth, the shoulder blades towards the hips. Lift the heart, press into all four corners of the front foot. Inhale, lengthen up through the fingertips. Exhale, float your arms back to your blocks. Good. Turn your back toes under and press back up into lunge pose. And then move your blocks out to the sides. Hands come to the mat and step back. Plank pose. Hands and wrists under shoulders. Press out through the heels as you draw your tailbone towards them. Draw the belly in. Spread wide through your collarbones and your upper back. And then take a breath in and press back into downward facing dog. Lift your sits bones high. Press out through the palms of your hands. Draw the belly in. Breathe. Press out. Feel your side bodies long. And then with a breath in, bend your knees, look to the front of your mat, and step up to your hands. Uttanasana once again. Forward fold. Take a breath in, bring your hands to your hips. Look at your feet, make sure they're right under your hips. Inhale and lift back up. Tadasana. Take a couple of breaths here. Then please bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Take a breath in, press hands. As you exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale, hinge and float down. Find your blocks or the earth or your legs. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, head lift, shoulder blades towards the hips. Exhale, bow to the legs. Inhale, bring your blocks or your fingertips alongside your feet, knees facing forward. Exhale, step back. Runner's lunge. Lengthen the spine and bring your right hand or block to the center of your mat. Take your left hand towards your hip and we'll take a twist. Press into all four corners of the feet and draw the legs towards one another as you rotate the ribs around the axis of your spine, stacking the shoulders, pressing out through the back heel. Good. And then return to center. And once again, we'll step that left foot back and come to plank pose. Take a few breaths here, lengthening out through the heels. Draw the belly in. Take a deep breath in and then send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Lift the sits bones high. Take a couple breaths. Lift and spread your toes. Bring your heels right behind the widest part of your foot. And then inhale, bend your knees, look to the front of your mat, And step up to your hands. Once again, Uttanasana. Firm the muscles to the bones in your legs. Root into all four corners of your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. And with the strength of your legs, come back up. Tadasana. Lengthen your fingertips towards the earth. Lift your heart. Take a couple breaths here. On your next inhalation, please bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And on your next breath in, press hands together, shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, release as you lift your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, fingertips touch. Exhale, open your heart and float down. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen over the earth. Exhale, bow to the legs. Firm the muscles to the bones in those legs as you inhale and come halfway up. Exhale, bow in. Moving on, inhale, place your hands or your blocks alongside your feet, knees facing forward. And exhale, send your left leg back. Make sure the front knee is just over your ankle foot as you press out through that back heel. We'll take the twist to this side, bringing your left hand to the center of the mat or your block. Take your right hand to your hip, and as you press out through that back heel, revolve the ribs around the spine. Keep the hips in alignment with the front of your mat. Breathe. On your next inhalation, keep pressing out through that back heel and then come back, both fingertips to the mat. We're going to step that right foot back, coming into plank pose. And this time we'll lower one elbow at a time to the mat, coming to forearm plank. And you can either bring your fingertips right out in front of your elbows or clasp your hands. And we'll just take 3 breath cycles here. Make sure your elbows are right under your shoulders as you breathe and lengthen, pressing out through your heels. Draw your belly in, broaden through the collarbones and the upper back. And then please bring one hand at a time back to the mat in plank. And then press back. Downward facing dog once again. Lift your hips high. Spread your toes wide. Bring your heels right back behind the wide part of your foot. Outer rotate the head of the arm bones. Inner rotate the head of the thigh bones. Draw your belly in. And on your next inhalation, look to the front of your mat and step up. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bring your hands to your hips, lengthen over the earth. And on your next breath in, lift up, come back to Tadasana. And a couple of breaths here. And slow the breath down. Feel the energy in your body, life force, energy, prana, moving through. Connect with the soles of your feet, your foundation. Activate your feet, activate your legs and your hips. Draw the belly in, lift your heart. Lengthen your neck. Reach out through the crown of your head as you draw your ears back. Beautiful. Then we're going to bend your knees and step your right foot back. Take your hands to your hips and align them with the front edge of your mat best you can. Take a deep breath in and lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, we're going to just come into pyramid pose, lengthening over the mat. And you can use your blocks to support you, or bring your hands to the mat. Whatever works best in your practice. So the right foot is at a 45-degree angle. And your left foot is facing forward, aligned with the long edge of your mat. Take a couple of breaths here. So if you don't already have your blocks, I am so sorry, I should have said, have your blocks. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 3, bringing the blocks to the front of the mat. You can bend your front knee and lift your back leg, sending the toes towards the earth. Draw your belly in and extend long. Lift up through that outer left hip. Couple more breaths here. And then bending the front knee, lower your back leg down, walk your blocks, take them with you. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll move the blocks to the side, fingertips to the earth, and step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Lifting the hips high, pressing out of the hands, feeling all four corners of your feet, whether they're on the mat or not. Maybe it's just the toes, the balls of your feet. And then take a deep breath in, look to the hands, bend your knees and step up. Bring your hands to your hips. Root through all four corners of your feet and hugging the muscles to the bones and the legs. Come back up and bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Take a couple of breaths here. Good, and then find your blocks. Let's place them at the front of the mat. Back into Tadasana. Nice and tall, good. Bend your knees and step your left foot back for pyramid pose. Take your hands to your hips. Make sure you're on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. And then bring the hips best you can to align with the front edge of your mat. Lift your chest, lift your spine. Lengthen all the way up through the crown of your head and firm into your feet. Take a breath in and keeping all of that, hinge at the hips and find your blocks or the mat for a nice long stretch through the hamstrings. Couple of breaths here, wherever you are is perfect. Root into all four corners of both feet, lifting the inner arch of your back foot and the inner ankle. And then bend your knee, walk your blocks forward, and lift that back leg up, hip height. Make sure you're not hiking your hip up or hanging in the hip, but do your best to keep them level as your left toes face the earth. Lengthen the spine and lift up through the right hip. Take a couple of breaths here. And then bend your front leg. Place your foot on the mat. Bring your hands to the mat. And step your right leg back for downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. Take a few breaths here. Press out through the hands. Bringing your heels behind the widest part of your foot, externally rotating the head of the arm bones as you internally rotate the head of the thigh bones. Lengthen through the side bodies. Take a couple more breath cycles. And then please bend your knees. Table pose. Bring your big toes together and sit back. Child's pose. Walk your hands overhead. Keep your arm bones, your wrists elevated up off the mat. Draw your shoulder blades towards your hips. Enjoy a few more breaths here. Now please bring your hands under your shoulders, spread your fingers wide and press up. Good. Find your blanket and bring it with you. Take a seat on your blanket. And you can come into, to begin with, we'll stay in Sukhasana, easy pose. Sit on the front edge of your sits bones and elevate your spine, lengthen. Draw your belly in. Sit up tall. Relax your shoulders. We're going to take a twist, a very simple seated twist to begin. Take a deep breath in and grow your spine long. And as you exhale, simply twist your upper body to the right. Bring your left hand to your outer thigh if that's comfortable. And your right hand comes to the mat behind you. Lower your shoulders away from your ears as you lift through the crown of your head, wrapping your right shoulder blade onto your back body. Feels different, a little bit different to practice seated twist, not at the beginning of our class. At least that's the truth of this for me. We'll take a couple of breaths here with the head turned towards your right shoulder. Softening your jaw and your eyes. And on your next inhalation, turn slowly to look over your left shoulder. Keep your jaws and your eyes soft as you lift your heart. Lengthen the spine. Draw the belly in. Beautiful. Enjoy a couple breaths here. Relax the tongue in your mouth. On your next breath in, bring your head back to face forward. Inhale and grow your spine long, lift your heart. Exhale, return to center. Let's change the cross of the legs. Is it the unusual way for you, maybe? And again, sit up tall, lengthen the spine, draw the belly in and relax your shoulders away from your ears. On your next inhalation, grow just a little bit taller, and as you exhale, twist, bringing your left hand to the mat behind you and your right hand to the outer thigh. Lift and lengthen as you turn to look over your back shoulder. Draw your right belly in just a little bit more, and you'll find a deepening in the twist. Soften your jaw and wrap that left shoulder blade around and back onto the back ribs. Couple breaths here, lowering the shoulders away from the ears. And on your next inhalation, slowly revolve your head to look over the other shoulder. Soft jaw, soft eyes. Deep, long, beautiful breaths in and out. On your next inhalation, slowly bring your head back to neutral. Soft jaw, soft eyes. And on your next breath in, return to center. Take just a moment here to once again connect with your intention for this coming season. Perfect. Thank you. And then please bring your legs out in front of you. Press out through the soles of your feet. And on your next breath in, draw your right knee in, your right heel in, bending your knee. Bring your heel in towards your sits bones. Keep energy in this long left leg, toes to the sky. Hug the knee, draw the belly in and lift your heart. Take a breath in and send your left arm out in front, lengthen through the fingertips, and then draw the head of the arm bone into the shoulder socket. Lengthen again through the crown of your head, and on your next breath, grow the spine long, draw the belly in. And as you exhale, twist, bringing your right hand to the mat behind you. If it feels good in your body, you can inhale and lift your left arm up, reaching out through the fingertips. And as you exhale, bring the elbow in front of the knee, if that feels good. Otherwise, just hug your knee. Look over your back shoulder and breathe here. Draw the belly in, especially the left lower belly. It will help you twist to the right. Take a breath in, grow the spine long as you press out through your left sole of the foot. And as you exhale, return to center. Good, lift and lengthen. Take another breath in, draw the belly in, and then send your right leg out along the mat. On your next inhalation, draw your left heel in. And then we'll take a breath in to lengthen the right fingertips out in front, lengthen, 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 and then exhale. Draw the head of the arm bone in. Keep that right leg active, knee and toes to the sky. And as you inhale, draw the belly in, lengthen the spine, and twist, bringing your left fingertips or hand, the palm of your hand if you can, to the mat. Turn to look over your back shoulder. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. And as you exhale, deepen in by drawing especially into the right lower belly. And again, on this side, you can lengthen the arm and bring it in front of your thigh or your knee if that feels good, or simply stay wrapped around your upright knee. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. And on your next inhalation, grow the spine long and return to facing forward. Take a breath in, lengthen, and as you exhale, send your left leg out in front of you, Dandasana. Draw the belly in, lengthen the spine, press out through the soles of your feet and inner rotate at the head of your thigh bones. Next breath in, grow the spine long, draw the belly in a little more, and hinging at the hips. Come forward, Paschimottanasana. Find your way in, pressing out through the soles of your feet. See where you land in your practice today. Keep your spine long. Breathe. Press out through the soles of your feet, the heels especially. Drawing the belly in, inner rotating at the head of the thigh bones. Good. Beautiful. Ooh, feel those hamstrings and the calves. Woohoo. Take a breath in from here and then rise back up. Keep those legs active. Lift and lengthen. Draw your belly in as you sit up tall. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your jaws, your eyes. Good, and then we're going to remove the blanket and come onto our backs. Keep a block right nearby, please. And once you've arrived on your back, bring your feet to the mat, knees bent in constructive rest pose. Take a moment here, lift your hips, lengthen the lower spine, and then set your hips back down. Take enough time to connect with the soles of your feet once again, your back body on the mat. Bring your shoulder blades under your back. Lengthen the back of your neck. On your next breath in, draw your knees in towards your chest. Let your thighs rotate in the hip sockets, the head of the thigh bones. Let them rotate and lower so the thighs come down nice and slow. Feet are flexed, toes to the sky. And once your thighs have made their fulfilling journey, bring your hands to your knees and rotate. And go both directions. Then come to stillness. And lower your feet to the mat. Find your block. We're going to come into supported bridge pose. So with a nice long spine, root into all four corners of both feet, making sure your toes are facing the foot of your mat. Take a breath in, lift your hips, and scoot the block underneath. Make sure you're stable on your block. And your block can be on the first or second setting, whichever feels best for you in your practice. Let your shoulder blades come down towards the mat, your heart open, your collarbones spread wide. If it's comfortable in your body, turn your palms towards the sky. And keep your knees aligned so they're aligned with your hips, your feet. If you feel them splaying out, do your best to keep them in that alignment. So there's some muscle activity in your legs. Your muscle energy is dialed in. Keep pressing into all four corners of your feet as though you were using your feet to support you without a block. Hugging the muscles to the bones in the legs. Breathe here. Bring awareness once again to your intention for your practice and for the season, the spring. New beginnings, spring. We'll take a few more breaths here in supported bridge before coming into supported shoulder stand. And then very slowly lift one leg at a time, extending through the toes, lifting them towards the sky. Hug the muscles to the bones in the legs. Reach out through your toe tips. Active legs, soft shoulders and face. Take your time. Feel the shifting sensations of energy in your body. Inversions are calming. Take a breath in and option to take your legs out to either side. Flex your feet. Hug the muscles to the bones in your legs. Protect your ligaments. Option to take your hands under your thighs. Breathe into these sensations, softening the face, the eyes, the neck, the shoulders. Taking a few more breaths here. On your next inhalation, bring your legs back up, reaching through the toes, hugging the muscles to the bones. And then on an inhalation, reach just a little more. And as you exhale, bend your knees and lower your feet to the mat. Do your best to place your feet under your knees and keep your knees hip-width distance apart. And then find the block with your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips, move the block out of the way and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Slowly lowering down, keeping your knees in alignment with your hips and then lengthening through the tailbone as you bring your sacrum to the mat. And then resist the urge to do anything. Stay right where you are. Notice where your lower back is, and if it's lifted up towards the sky, do your best to draw it down towards the earth. Lengthen the back of your neck. Good. Take another breath in and bring your knees towards your chest, keeping your tailbone towards the earth and the small of your back towards the earth. Again, let those thigh bones come towards the chest with ease. No need to push or pull them down. Notice your neck and your lower back. Keep them nice and long and release your shoulders towards the earth. Deep breaths in and long breaths out. And then please lower your feet to the mat once again, and we'll take a twist. Take your arms out into a T and take a breath in as you cross your right knee over your left knee. Next breath in, heel toe your left foot to the left of the mat or to the left side of the mat. On an inhalation, lift your hips to that side. And as you exhale, let your knees come down to the right. Of course, you can place a block under your knees as you wish. Taking care of you is most important. Open the arms out wide, and if it feels good in your body, turn to look over towards your left fingertips. Open the heart. Breathe into the stretch, into the twist. Detoxifying. Twists are so detoxifying and good for the organs, good for the body. Do your best to keep your shoulder blades on the mat, softening your face and your jaw. Long, slow breaths in and out. And if it feels good in your body, invite the breath into your left armpit, into the left lobe of your lung and ribs, the side waist, the hip. A couple more breaths here, relaxing your face, your jaw. And to come out of the twist, draw your belly in, take a deep breath in, press the arms into the earth and lift your legs back up. Uncross your legs, press into the soles of your feet and lift your hips back to center. Check in again, notice your spine, notice the back of your neck. Lengthen and make sure you're not arching through the lower back. Then take a breath in and cross your left knee over your right. Heel toe your right foot to the right side of your mat. Inhale and lift your hips to the right. And as you exhale, lower them to the left side of your mat, keeping your shoulder blades best you can on the mat. Turn to look towards your right fingertips if that feels accessible and good in your practice. The most important thing is to listen to your body, knowing that sensations are wonderful. Even intense, deep sensations are wonderful, but pain is not wonderful. So if you go to your edge, pull back just a little bit. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Soften the tongue in your mouth. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your face. And if it feels good and beneficial, take a breath into your right armpit, the right lobe of your lung, the ribs, the side waist and hip. And let that breath go all the way down and out your knees. Enjoy some deep, beautiful breaths right here. And again, you can bring to awareness your intention. And to come out of the twist, take a breath in, draw your belly in, press your arms into the earth and lift your legs back. Uncross your legs, both feet on the mat, lift your hips back to center. Notice once again your back body, your neck. Take a breath in and bring your knees back towards your chest, Apanasana. Lengthen the back of your neck. Maybe revolve your head from side to side. Soft face, soft jaw. Take a few more breaths here. Keep your feet active. And on your next breath in, send your left leg long on your mat. Press out through the soles of both feet. Inhale, exhale. Press it out. Remember, you can always leave your foot on the mat with your knee bent. Listen to your body. Take a few more breaths here, softening through your shoulders. If at any time you notice your chin pressing up towards the sky, lengthen the back of your neck. And breathe in. And as you exhale, draw that left knee in back to Apanasana. Keeping both feet flexed. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, send the right leg long on your mat. Press out through the soles of both feet. And again, know that you can keep your foot on the mat. If you have issues in your groins, that's a good idea. Press out and draw the pinkies towards their shoulders. Relax your shoulders and your face, your jaw. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, draw the knee in. Apanasana once again. Relax your shoulders. And then finding your feet, come to happy baby. Find your feet or your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs. Couple of breaths here, relaxing your shoulders. Enjoy a few nice deep breaths here. And then bring the soles of your feet together, press your knees out, Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, reclined bound angle pose. Again, lengthen the back of your neck, soften your jaws, soften your face. And then on your next breath out, bring your knees back together, Apanasana, flex your feet. Inhale here, and as you exhale, find your way into Shavasana. Lengthen through the soles of your feet, create some space between your legs, open your palms to the sky, draw your shoulder blades under your back. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, send the breath all the way down and out the soles of your feet. Take another nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, let it float down along your body like a beautiful wave all the way down and out the soles of your feet. And then relax your toes. And the balls of your feet. Relax your arches and your heels. Relax your ankles, your calves, the fronts and backs of your knees. Relax your upper legs, groins, your hips, relax your glutes, your entire pelvic bowl. Let all the organs in your abdominal cavity just relax into your back body. Soften and relax your tailbone, your sacrum, and all the vertebrae all the way up to the base of your skull. Relax your belly, your side waists, your ribs, and your entire rib cage. Relax your collarbones, your shoulder blades, and your shoulders. Relax your upper arms, elbows, forearms, and wrists, your thumbs, your fingers, and hands. And relax your neck and your throat. And your jaws, lips, gums, teeth, tongue, and the entire interior of your mouth. And relax your cheeks and your ears. Your nasal passages, your nose, your sinuses. Let your eyeballs sink down into their oracular orbs, finding their way into the depths of your head. Relax your eyebrows and your forehead, your scalp, your hair. And let your brain grow heavy and rest in the back of your skull. Feel your skin as it drapes over your bones like the most exquisite fine silk. And let go of everything that doesn't serve your best and highest good. And sink into your mat, into the earth, into the springtime earth, full of nurturing and nutrients. To help you, to assist you, to flow into your intention for the spring. And begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Simply feeling the rise and the fall of the breath in your chest and belly. The exquisite gift of breath. And bringing awareness to your fingertips and toe tips. Rubbing your fingerprints with your thumbprints. Waking up the fingertips, waking up the toe tips. And begin to circle your wrists and your ankles. Both directions. And take a deep breath in and stretch it out. Feeling good, spacious. And then roll to your right side and enjoy this moment. And then using your hands and your arms, press yourself up. And once again, come to your seat on your mat. And please join me. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And once you've arrived, please take a moment, close your eyes, and once again reflect on your intention for spring. Frame it in words such as, I am whatever the quality is you'd like to bring forth. Of course, that can always be changed. And take a few moments to breathe energy into your intention for this new season. Thank you. And now please let's join together and send some metta into our field of infinite possibilities. May all beings everywhere be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be loving and kind and full of forgiveness. And may all beings everywhere live with ease and grace every day of their lives. And please join me in one Om. And we'll simply inhale and begin. Om. Thank you so much for your practice and for your commitment to your practice and to practicing with one another. Thank you so much. From my heart to your heart. Namaste.